Hello everyone, this is Aya from Hinawi Software. Our topic for today is very general. It includes everything you need to know. Actually, although we have so many different videos in our YouTube channel, I recommend you watch this video first. Like, this video will illustrate for you and demonstrate for you all the modules in the system in general with all its content, and then you can see our other videos to understand and get deeper ideas and deeper information and further details thoroughly from our other videos. So yes, this is the first step. We are going to start here with demonstrating the menus. Look at all these menus we have in Hinawi Software. It's an ERP system, and it comes as a desktop version application, it comes as a mobile application and a web application. This current screen you see here is the desktop application. It contains the desktop of Hinawi Software ERP, and I'm logged in from the admin account because I want everything to be clear. I want everything to be shown on the screen and no details or any item or menu is hidden, because everything contains like 100% complete permissions. That's why you see everything in front of you with all the modules and all the icons. First, we are going to start with the file menu. As you see here, the file menu comes the following. It contains first the company setup, which contains the information and taxes about the company. It also contains QuickBooks integration settings, the user list and access settings, which I was talking about like a few minutes ago, which from here we can set all the permissions for all users who are using this system and software. We also have a complete PDF containing everything you need to know before you start using Hinawi Software. So it gives you the guidelines, it gives you information and steps regarding using the system. And finally, we have integration rules. Next, we have importing or entering lists and balances for each and every module in the system. So for example, there is the accounting module, which contains importing of all these items. Entering also is possible, so we also have an option to either enter the opening balance for any of those options, or importing the balance for any of these choices right here. We also have the same regarding fixed assets. We can import fixed assets information. It contains a sample Excel format where users can understand what type and what sort of information and order of information they need to have in order for us to import that data for them in Hinawi Software, in which they can be used instantly without waiting for days, weeks, months or years. It can just be used instantly, and all data and information will be covered and contained in the software at once. Same thing applies for real estate, school, garage, Hrms, managed employees, and also regarding import from third party. Before I proceed forwards, another important thing here in the file menu is that we have made this order in the file menu according to the usage itself, according to how much it's used among users and the priority basically in the using of software, which will be used by customers, prospective and all. So the priority of items is what made us choose this order you see here in the file menu. We also have missing data information, which contains missing information regarding accounting, fixed assets, real estate, everything regarding those modules. And it's very important here because missing data information helps users in understanding how to use the software using a complete workflow without missing or not noticing a specific step. Like, missing data information makes sure that everything in the system is perfectly fine and complete in case you want to follow any module later on or create any workflow or process or transaction, it will be smoothly going without having any missing data information. So for example, regarding the HRMS, it provides us with an entire window containing all missing information regarding employees, for example, photos, names in Arabic, for example, documents, in case any SIF information is missing or anything is missing. It informs you at once, so you can proceed forwards with the activities without having any issues or problems. Next, we have the setup modules. This is the core of the software. Actually, setup modules contain the settings, and the settings of any software is the core. So basically, the admin user is the only person or only user who is capable of viewing those settings, because it's very sensitive data, it's sensitive information. We have covered it in another video, like where I explained it in further deep discussion, and I illustrated how sensitive this data is. So basically, in the setup modules, you can choose your own company's policies according to what is used and how is it going to be used, and all like details of any module can be set from here regarding the modules and regarding the policies as per company policies, of course. We also have settings manual from here to demonstrate further illustration and discussions regarding the settings. It's very, very important and it's very useful. Next, we have the setup posting controls, which shows us basically what is the mandatory fields to be filled. So later on, when we create a transaction or any procedure, we will then make sure that all mandatory fields are filled or required or not required. Like from here, we can choose all of that. Also regarding the checklist control, the posting control, this is very useful, especially for the most person highly in charge. So the admin, the company owner, for example, the manager, all those people who have higher positions will benefit from the control feature because it's very useful. We also have set up general requirements, which contains all these things regarding the SMS, the attachments, like auto reminders, transaction emails, everything regarding emails and SMS. It's all contained from here. So that's very useful. We also have here an item or a menu regarding the templates, setting up templates in the software. Now, this is extremely a flexible feature in the software because templates will provide users with the flexibility of creating or editing their own sort of like templates, forms, invoices. Everything regarding forms can be changed from here for all modules. We have made a previous video regarding templates where I demonstrated an entire process of creating a template among all its procedures and transactions. So that's a very important feature and a very useful one, as if like you have Microsoft Office opened in front of you. It's very flexible and it's user-friendly. You can easily create a template. Here we have incomplete posting entries for all modules, for processes, for all modules except HRMS. It's very useful for like auditors, it's for company owners, for accountants. We also have unapproved Hrms activities by name, and also unused forms for all modules is displayed here. Audit trial for all modules except Hrms, and also for Hrms module is displayed here also as well on the screen. Next, we have the status regarding employees, regarding salary, units, and checks history. So statuses regarding all these concepts and all these content is displayed here on the screen. We can also scan the documents for the company. This is very general documents regarding the entire company rather than a specific individual or a specific employee. So this is very general and very powerful. Reminders list is also extremely useful, because in the reminders list you can have pop-up windows, pop-up messages on the screen to demonstrate what is exactly the data or the specific piece of information in which users want to keep being reminded of whenever they open Hinawi software. So it will display a pop-up message in which it will tell you what you need to know and what you need to be reminded of. Users who do not have a password, it's a very flexible feature here, and it's a very important one as well, because each user, as we know, each user contains his or her own permissions permitted for them. So in here, some users might have very crucial data, very crucial permissions, such as salaries and all those sensitive data in which not every other user must see. So that's why we have to check who are the users who currently do not have any password. Exporting lists to Excel is also possible. In the utilities here, we have backing up, switching to Arabic is possible. It's the same one displayed here at the top, where you can see the Arabic icon. We also have demonstrated it and added it here in the list. So basically everything you see above regarding icons are contained in the lists. It's not a new thing. Icons are already in the lists, but we have chose them to be displayed there for easy access and for faster reaching. Reconnecting with QuickBooks, updating, and exit. That's the file. In the lists here, we have the chart of accounts lists, we have the items lists, we also have the barcode fixed asset item lists, like lists regarding each and every type you need to have. Like for example, any customer, prospective, vendors, employees, all these names, all these categories contain their own lists, where we have organized them and ordered them in the list menu. Also regarding locations, projects, sponsor, everything here is displayed in a very clear manner. As you see here, we also have the currency list. It demonstrates for you an entire list where you can add more currencies to be used in the system other than the ones which are currently contained. So for example, the Jordanian dinar, for example, the US dollar, for example, the dirham, everything can be added and more currencies can be added infinitely. Unit of measure list, the coupon list, everything, all the activities and the bank list and the general list. Now let me talk a little bit about the general list here, because although like we have made an entire video about it, but the general list is extremely powerful. It as if like we provide the database for users, of course according to their permissions, as if we have the entire database opened in front of them, where they can add more items regarding salary allowances, regarding leave types, regarding all modules, regarding documents, regarding banks, branches, any new item that must be added in the system according to the company's policies can easily be added here by the users themselves without going back to programmers. So instead of programming anything regarding adding new items, you can instantly add them yourself. Searching is also demonstrated here and displayed, where you can search about names, transactions, and contact, and also the search transaction. Now from here we have the CRM, which contains all customer relationship management. So this is extremely powerful. And by the way, here in the lists, the general list can be created or can be entered easily from the shortcut using F2. So from F2 you can enter it. That's a very important point that should be also mentioned. Let's go back to the CRM. We have entire processes regarding the inquiry, where we can start with creating, editing, printing, approving, following up. So that's the main workflow of any inquiry newly created in the system. Also regarding the quotation, we can create, edit, print, or void. CRM is linked with emails, by the way, so keep that in mind. The customer relationship management is highly linked with emails, which is very useful. Following up, making the delivery, having the general reminder, SMS and email notifications also possible, scheduling them, having an entire calendar, the document center, for example, group tasks, daily reports, emails, everything regarding letters, regarding emails received, online quotations also, and following up, and everything you need to have in your hands in order to be in touch and have all the customer relationship management under control is displayed here. Now in the accounting menu we have everything regarding cash payments, so all payment types from here is displayed. This is the cash payment, this is the check payment, the bank transfer, managing checks issued, and the PDC. Next we have everything related to receipt voucher, whether it's a cash receipt voucher, the check receipt voucher, cash or check receipt voucher, and managing them with CUC. Next we have everything here regarding the quotation also, which we have seen in the CRM menu also. We also have the job in progress, delivery note, cash invoice. All of these items you see here have their own unique workflow. So here we also have the credit invoice, close checked coupons, the credit memo, the sales rep commission, where you can easily and freely change that percents according to the company's policies, of course. We also have the materials or service requests. So it contains its own unique workflow, also regarding the price inquiry request, comparing prices, purchase order, items receipts, the bills, creating bills, manufacturing. This is a very powerful feature here. We have newly added it in the software. We have added the manufacturing. It's very powerful because here you can have the job order for production, and for issue items for production, and regarding the producing of finished items. So manufacturing is here and inventory is here. They're right under each other. The inventory contains the SIV, SRV, the managed change market value, and the physical inventory worksheet. Here we have everything related to the accountant, such as applying or setting up the prepaid expenses, regarding transactions, expenses, payments received and paid. Also we have here more information, which contains an entire workflow in both English and Arabic, and a manual. This is displayed in all menus because more information is very useful in order to allow users to understand how this menu works and functions properly. In the fixed assets, we have creating any new or used asset. This is the entire list of the fixed asset, the purchase new asset, the maintenance is here along with its own workflow. Also we have creating bills for insurance, transferring, and the disposal, of course, is here along with the more information. Everything you see here is linked with the accounting module, of course, because the accounting module is the most like the hugest actually module in the software. So everything is linked with it. And the accounting module in general is used in all types of businesses. So it comes up in everything and it's linked up with everything. Next we have the contracting. As you see here, we have the BOQ activity list, we have the BOQ task list, the item list, creating the BOQ estimate, editing, approving. You see here the workflow is pretty straightforward. Printing and closing, and also we have the tender item list, creating the tender proposal, editing, approving, and printing that, and also more information in Arabic and English, and an entire manual. By the way, in the fixed asset module, you can have automatic calculations, of course, based on the policies and the settings. Same thing applies to all modules you see here. It depends on the setup. It highly depends on the settings and the setup. Next, we move to the real estate module, where we have 3 different forms of lists for property, unit, and tenant. Also, regarding converting and mapping between fixed asset to property, between them with the, for example, the mapping and converting property to fixed assets. So here it's linked, as you see, with the fixed assets, also of course with the accounting. Here we can for example create a draft contract or quotation and proceed forwards with its workflow. Same thing applies with the actual contract, where you can create it, print it from here. From VAT also we can print it, and from here we can print VAT from other charges. We can void or cancel the contract, and we can link it with payments. We can pre-terminate the contract, renew it, release it, refund the deposits, send the new renewal notice. Eviction case for contract, where we can create the eviction case, have it closed, paid to the lawyer, and view an entire list of that eviction case. We can create the commission for property management and the VAT invoice for the deferred income, printing the VAT invoice for deferred income, post the deferred income, and change the unit list and status. In the maintenance, we have the following content regarding complaints, requests, job card, creating the cash or credit or bill from job card also. Notice, general memo, renewal of passport, and finally more information is displayed here. And in the real estate, it manages everything regarding any owners or users, their own real estate, their own units and their own properties, or it can also manage others. So it's all displayed here clearly. In the school module, this is an entire process of starting with a new applicant, where you can create that new applicant. You can edit that applicant. You can have them go to the entrance exam and have their results back. Their documents, regarding complete documents of students and their scanned documents, can be entered and created and saved here, instead of having it everywhere around the place and in the drawers and everything in the office. So in the system here, you have them all saved up in the same place. Enrolling students is possible, editing those enrolled students, having the list of complete active or inactive students for any reason. You can link those students with employees in case they're, for example, they have a specific relation with, for example, an employee, their parents are as employees. Any employee who is related to that student can be linked. Student information, they have 2 different forms where you can see information regarding students as a profile or as a list. Class teacher can be also shown here, and the activity list, students' activities, creating the income, and we have different forms of discounts regarding students, regarding creating students' discount. It's all set up from the settings, because from there we can have each discount set up according to its own type, Not only that, but we can add like specific information regarding the curriculums in the school, the sections of the grades, of everything can be regarding the school set up from the settings, from the school settings. We can also have the invoice list, the fees slip, and other activities for all opening balance, for all debit, credit, refund displayed here. As you can see here, this is highly linked with the accounting module, because as I have mentioned earlier, that the accounting module is linked with everything and it's the hugest module. So of course it comes up in everything. We also have the students' final results, promoting and termination for any reasons possible. For example, at the time of graduating of students, or at the time of terminating the application itself, or terminating the enrolled students in the first place. Regarding the garage module, as you see here, we have a complete list of the following items. First, we have the chases or vehicle list. Second, as you see here, we have the converting and mapping feature, which basically converts between vehicle to fixed asset or fixed assets to vehicle list, like vice versa. So basically that's like the linking point between fixed assets and vehicles, basically garage. So that's how it works. We also have a complete job card functionality here, where you can create a job card first and then you can edit the customer in a specific job card. Adding services to job cards is also there, and spare parts request is available in our garage module. Also, you can assign employees to a job card, which is basically the progress sheet, and we have a approve finished jobs. So basically any finished jobs which are there can be approved later on. Proforma invoice is there, where we have a feature of creating a proforma invoice first and editing that proforma invoice. So that's highly linked with the accounting module, because as you see here, the garage module, in addition to all the other modules, are integrated with the accounting module. So basically that's the specific workflow we have here regarding the proforma invoice. Next, we have creating a cash invoice from that proforma invoice. So basically we can create or edit that cash invoice. Also, we have creating and editing the credit invoice. So both are available, whether it's cash or credit. And finally, we have more information here, where we have an entire workflow for the garage module in order to deliver the accurate, precise, detailed information regarding the garage module, how to use it, the workflow of the process and procedures in here. Next, we have the Hrms module. It's the second largest and hugest module in the system after the accounting module. And because of that, because of how large it is, we have divided it into these several menus you see here on the screen. So all these menus are just for the HR. We start with the Manage Employees menu, which is everything regarding and relating to employees, documents, data, salaries, finding employees, 3 different forms of viewing the employees' information, their profile, the list, the center. Also, other managed employees regarding the passports requests, adding employee expenses. You see here everything regarding the secondary information and transactions and activities used for employees. We can also transfer among employees between their companies, departments, positions, or projects and locations. So we can transfer them, and they have specific permissions, of course, according to company policies. In case one user transfers, another edits, another person approves them. So it depends on the user access list for each person to understand where and what can they do. We also have lists regarding active or inactive employees. Active like employees are employees who are in the system, and normal functionality of them is fine, but inactivity inactivity of employees is mainly regarding employees who are, for example, on leave, under service, any absconded worker employee. Like, it could have many different reasons for employees to be inactive. Also, we can delete employees in case they have no activities on the system, like they're just created and they don't have any Hrms activities yet, and for any reason we want to delete them. So it's possible from here. Advanced search is also available. The recruitment process from A to Z is covered, where we can create a new candidate and proceed forwards with all these activities until we either reject, delete the CV, or transfer that candidate to employee, like actual employee. We also have the form printing, the print forms, which reads from the templates, which I have talked about and made an entire video about regarding templates. And finally, more information containing an entire manual, an entire PDF and Excel in English and Arabic for easy usage. Next, we have the Hrms Activities, the second part of the HR, which contains all these activities, starting with leaves, along with its workflow, absences, loans, stopping or releasing the salary, additions or deductions, any absconded worker or person who suddenly ran away, air tickets in case the company or the place of work provides that. The employee training, for example, if they take courses outside the city or the country, any expenses, benefits, approving a group of activities, which are any of those activities here, end of service along with this workflow, payment of activities according to, of course, according to the setup and the settings, and how it's set to be paid, on what type of payment mode. So here, any payment which is provided to the employee. Here is any payment from the employee, like received from the employee. So basically it has special cases where employees must pay specific amounts. These are the main three special cases: receiving amount for earlier leave return, creating the receipt voucher for a refund loan, and receive the payment for end of service final settlement. We also have more information here regarding the Hrms activities. So each one of them is very in depth, like it's very detailed. That's why I have made videos regarding each one of those on our YouTube channel. So yeah, don't forget to check that out. We also have the timesheets menu here, where we have locations and projects. We can assign employees to timesheets, because as we know, employees fall under either the HR category or the timesheet category. We can assign them to projects, shifts, transfer them. We can create them the timesheet before creating the salary sheet, because as we know, we cannot proceed with creating salary sheet in case the timesheet was not created yet for timesheet employees. Deleting, printing blank timesheet card, work group list, and finally more information. Next, the payroll and taxes, regarding both the HR payroll, the timesheet payroll, and payment for both. It contains either WPS employees, the wage protection system, or non-WPS for both timesheet and HR employees, along with the different types of payment, cash, check, or bank transfer. And finally, we have more information here. Next, we have reports containing the output of all the modules you have seen in this video. Everything is here in the reports, except the Hrms, the Human Resources Management System, because of how large it is and because of how much space it's taking in the system. Like an entire half of the screen actually is for the HR, as we have seen here in those menus. So that's why we have made an entire menu of reports regarding those Hrms activities and employees here in this menu. And finally, we have updating to QuickBooks. We can set this as either manual update or automatic update, depends on the company's policies for all those types of modules. This will make sure that Hinawi Software and QuickBooks is up to date with each other and everything is posted and going smoothly. And finally, we have help and support. Look how many items we have here to make sure that everything is functioning perfectly and that any help you need can be and will be provided from our side easily and in a fast manner regarding all those modules you see here. We have training videos on our website and our YouTube channel, and as you see here, we also have the system requirements, terms and conditions about the software, and help and support. And as I have mentioned, those icons are exactly the same as whatever is displayed here in the menus, but they are displayed here for easy access. And that's it for our today's video. I hope it was clear and I hope I delivered the points accurately and precisely. Please don't forget to like this video and share it with anyone who might be interested in the software, in this ERP system. And make sure you subscribe to our channel, and thank you for your time.